Hey guys, so I'm here today in the November Hi-Fi show. It's my first time going to the Hi-Fi show. I don't know what to expect, so I'm probably gonna go around and check out some IEMs and audio gear and give my impressions on them, and mostly show you guys, what's inside, these kinds of events. So join me in my vlog. Alright, so inside you do have a lot of speakers. So this is actually 70% speaker setups, and also there's a lot of really hi-fi setups from Focal, from Macintosh, from different brands. And there's also big sales of vinyls and a lot of CDs and cassettes even. And you can buy them at better prices. And of course there's a lot of headphones on display, a lot of portable audio stuff on display, like the Audio Technica and also of course the Beyerdynamic. They do have two booths with Beyerdynamic, and of course there's also IEMs, earphones from Jaben, and there's also Flipears, of course, Fitears as well from Jaben, and INM audio as well. So there's a good mix of desktop setups, speaker setups, and also portable setups. There's a lot of brands. If I on my hand, it's around 50 brands, and they have maybe 3 floors of all audio. Alright, so now let's start with my favorites from the show. Stuff that caught my attention. And let's start off with AudioQuest. It has the Nighthawks, and I did like that it has a super punchy sound. Not a super duper detailed pair and not articulate, it's more of a smooth presentation. But I like that it has a rich natural kind of sound. Definitely kind of a woody kind of sound. So I did like the Nighthawk. It's kind of my favorite out of all the headphones I tested. And definitely what really caught my attention, the most that caught my attention is the Dragonfly Cobalt. So I did test before the Dragonfly Reds. It's kind of an articulate kind of DAC amp, but I did like the Cobalt more. It's kind of a more natural sounding, rich sounding and natural sounding DAC amp. I did like it better than the Reds. I think that it is an upgrade in a way compared to the Reds for me. So it's actually one thing in the whole event that I want to get myself. I want to get a hold of a Dragonfly Cobalt, so that's really interesting. I do want that in the lab. Right now, let's go to Flipears. So Flipears is a popular local brand for custom IEMs. So I did almost test all of their IEMs, from the Aisha Pro, AIM V3, Axis V3, A to Z, Alpha V3, Flipears Redeemer. So they have 2 driver setups, up to 16 driver setups, so it's kind of versatile in that sense. And what's interesting is you can customize your faceplate, which is nice, and it customizes also with the shape of your ear, which is something that it's really interesting to have, especially in your kit. But yeah, for me, my favorite out of all the bunch, actually the AIM V3. If I'm gonna buy something from Flipears, this is the one that I'm gonna get. So the AIM V3 for me kind of fits my preference. It's kind of a revealing sound. It's an airy sound, has more clarity on top. Still smooth in the grand scheme of things, but it's kind of clean and revealing for me. In terms of the overall presentation, it has as well enough detail throw around. So yes, it's around, I think, 20,000 pesos, so around $500 for a custom IEM, which is very interesting. So I did like the AIM V3 out of all the rest. If I'm gonna buy one, that is the one that I'm gonna get. But of course, it's a custom IEM. So depending on your taste and in your needs, there's an IEM there for you. Okay, so I'm here in the 7th floor, and there's a lot more action here compared to the previous one. Sound context. 5th Avenue. Troy. So much people. Pinoy. Next is Beyerdynamic. So I did personally like my DT1990. So it's one of my go-tos, especially for some mixing. So I did try their other headphones like the DT1770 Pro, the T1, the T5, and their other Beyerdynamic headphones. And out of all the bunch, I did like the T1. So unfortunately, I liked it more than the DC1990. So it's kind of a very lively sound, has a tight sound on top, and lots of clarity on top. It's clean also.
It's kind of more lively compared to my DT1990, which is surprisingly compared to the DT1990. The DT1990 is even more laid back compared to the T1. So yes, if there's one headphone that I want to get, it's the T1. Of course, it's the most expensive pair, but I did like the T1 over the DT1990. So maybe I'm gonna sell my DT1990. And next is INM Audios. It's a local custom IEM shop. So I tested several models, the 2, the 3, and the 3 stage. So they do have 2 tunings, one for stage monitoring and one for more kind of casual listening. So that's interesting that they cater to different niches. So I did test the 3 and 2 and the 3 stage, and what I like more is the 3. So it's kind of a smooth, relaxed, lush kind of sound. It's more in the kind of laid back approach and presentation. Has a medium stage, and it's kind of a fairly neutral IEM. So in older IEMs, it's kind of more in the smooth presentation, kind of a more natural presentation, and that's interesting. So in terms of price, they're around 15,000 pesos or $300. So I did find their IEMs interesting. Next one, and what might be the most interesting for me, is the one custom brand from Australia. Actually, it's a brand new brand, and they also do kind of custom IEMs. And the one thing that I really liked is the JR03 model. It's around 7.5K or around $150, and that is really a good price. And what I really like about this IEM is it has a custom kind of tuning. So there are switches in the IEM that makes you choose if you want a mids forward signature, if you want a V-shaped signature, if you want a bassy signature. So it's sort of like a filter in the Shure 846. But now with this IEM, it's even easier to switch because it's just a physical switch in the IEM itself. So what I tested is the U-shaped and also kind of a mids forward setting. So in the U-shaped sound, it's kind of an airy sound on top, smooth, revealing also. Vocals are a bit shouty, a bit kind of in your face, but there's a very good detail. It's a bit thin body on top, but overall I would say very nice for the price. And after I did tune it to be mids forward sound, I did like it even better. It's a more kind of neutral presentation for me. And yeah, if there's an IEM that I want to get, this is the one that I'm gonna get because of that kind of tunable quality in the sound. That option to go bassy in the day, mid-centric in the day, treble in the day. So it's very easy to switch. Right, next up is Fitears. So this is one of the more popular custom IEM brands internationally, and it's really interesting to listen to them. I did like the MH334 and also the Titan. So those are my top 2 favorites. I did listen to other Fitears as well, but those 2 are on the top of my list. My most favorite is the Titan. It has kind of a tight sound, very detailed sound, very nice separation. In my preference, that is what I'm gonna choose. Of course, it's the most expensive. It's around 180,000 or $3,000 to $4,000. And next would be the MH334 with a clear case. It's a kind of a reference IEM. It has a revealing sound, natural sound as well, accurate and precise. It's also smooth in presentation. So yeah, I did like the MH334. Personally, if I'm gonna have an IEM made from them, it will be the MH334. I like the reference kind of sound, and that's something that I can use for a variety of tracks. So that's what I'm probably gonna make from them. Alright, so of course, being a Sony user myself, I went to the Sony booth also, and I tested the Z1R. So it's kind of a smooth sound, a very Sony kind of sound. It's a soothing, lush, rich sound. Has, of course, micro detail, kind of a warmish sound overall, kind of a U-shaped sound also with the Z1R. So it's more of geared towards a casual listen. So it's kind of a warmish listen with the Z1R.
Alright, so they have a sale, 1.5 ESW 500. I listened to it. Actually, I bought one. So if you wanna grab, super discounted pair, 1.5 for I think 10,000 to be fair. So very good price for 1.5. And check them out here in the November Hi-Fi show.
Alright, so those are my top favorites from the November Hi-Fi show. So frankly, there's not a lot of like portable stuff there. It's more of like speakers. So hopefully I can go to CanJam in the future so I can test more kind of portable stuff. but I did enjoy my time there, testing a lot of portable audio. Actually, my ears needed to rest after going to the November Hi-Fi show, because I did listen to a lot of headphones and maybe 20, 30, 40 pairs. So really interesting time. I would suggest you guys go to that kind of events, so you guys can have a listen to a lot of earphones also. So if you have the time, drop by in the future in the November Hi-Fi show, or even Can Jam. So yeah, it's just fun listening to a lot of pairs, even the top of the line ones, just to get a glimpse on how manufacturers untune their stuff, and what's a good sounding pair for them, what's a top of the line pair for them. It's really just interesting to learn about this stuff in these kinds of events. So yeah, that is my coverage of the November Hi-Fi show. I didn't really, face vlog that much because it's really noisy there. There's a lot of speakers ongoing. I needed to go outside the event floor itself to just get good audio. So I just thought of doing a voiceover after to give you guys, better, coverage and better information on all of the stuff that I've seen. That is my coverage of the November Hi-Fi show. Of course, if you learned something, leave a like and subscribe for more content like this in the future. For those who went to the November Hi-Fi show, what did you want? What is your favorite item from all of the exhibitors? Let me know also down in the comments below. And I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. Bye.
7th floor. Let's look at around town. We can see some headphones to test.